My name's Anoop Hosey, his name's Mike Passenier. This is the K1 Anoop Show. Boy oh boy, have we got a treat and a half for you of plenty of kickboxing news and much more than this Badr Hari too. Haddaoui! So we had quite an eventful weekend at Glory Redemption. Mixed bag of results for the team.
Yes.
Start off with Yousri. Firstly, how's his health? He had quite a bad cut above his eye.
He's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong, you know.
And are we saying
cuts can be fixed, so they did.
Yeah.
And well, the only thing is we own that fight, and you know he got a unfortunately knee. If he would sit out this storm, this last blaze of Pereira, then he would be the next champion. But the cut made it all. What do you say?
Change things.
Yes, that changed the whole fight.
Obviously, it was a good night for Baya. He made a very emphatic performance for Christian Baya with his knockout. You know, he did what he said he was going to do. He called out Sitthichai. You faced Sitthichai before with Murthel. What does Baya have at this stage in his career compared to Murthel a few years ago to take care of Sitthichai?
Well, if I stand correctly, Murthel's wife was pregnant by that time. First of all, she was doing any minute then. Murthel didn't lose weight the right way, and he had to lose. They followed 70 kilos. You know, he barely made weight, and you know he couldn't get his weight back and his physique back. That was one. And if I recall the fight very closely, there was one point when the fight was equal, then they come to an altercation, and then they both stepped back, and Murthel didn't step in, you know, to finish it off.
Yeah.
So Sitthichai stepped in, and that's what changed the game. On the other hand, Baya is a totally different fighter than Murthel is. You know, it's apples and oranges. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Stoyan Koprivlenski won the tournament. Very impressed since he first fought for Glory earlier this year, and yeah. How far can this Stoyan go on behalf of Bulgaria?
Well, the first time when he fought Paulianse, he was impressive as well. But by then he was for a long time in Holland. Last time they called him out 2 weeks before. And okay, two and a half weeks before. He's in Holland for 10 days and that was not enough. So now also he was here for, I don't know, 6-7 weeks.
Ismael Londt.
And then you see the results.
Yeah, Ismael Londt didn't quite go his way against a very old friend of his in D'Angelo Marshall. Was that more down to ring rust or anything else in that fight, you reckon, for Ismael?
It was during the fight he had a little bit difficulties with his arm again. Yeah. But I don't think it's ring rust, you know, sometimes it's like you see these pains that aren't there. You know, so.
Is that something that he needs more time then with his arm before he gets back in the ring again, you reckon?
I don't think so. He just needs to believe more, need to train a little bit more, lose some weight, I think. And if they still do, then he'll be back to his old shape again, I guess.
Yeah, causing all sorts of mayhem in the heavyweight division. Obviously, before we come into the heavyweights, Nieky Holzken. Now, when I spoke to Nieky the day before his fight this weekend, he said it's not a solid performance. If he doesn't win, probably going to retire. Do you think someone like Holzken should call it a day, or he's still got a lot more in the tank?
I hope not. Nieky is quite a good. Nieky is a good fighter. First of all, Nieky is an attraction for everybody. You know, he's just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Yeah, so that's what it is. He's there, and he doesn't seem like he can turn it around. He's having bad luck.
Yeah, it's just timing, isn't it? I think it's a bit of bad luck, a bit of timing. Things are changing around in the competition. Is it fair to say that the younger fighters, they fight a bit differently, and the more experienced fighters have got to be more mindful of that when they're preparing for them?
No. Look, Nieky Holzken his biggest fan was Yousri. He was the biggest fan of Yousri. But by the time he was fighting Yousri, by that time Yousri had like 12 years in a row he's been dominating the division of 75 kilos. He came back to 70 kilos. And then he started losing some fights, unfortunately, by headbutts, by elbow, got stopped by elbow, stoppage, get an 8 count, that's not necessary. Things like this. And then also they said, well, Yousri should stop, but he didn't stop, he just went along for 1 or 1.5 years, and also on a winning streak. And by then the K1 came, well, we want to sign Yousri, but Yousri already said, no, I'm going to stop. So he fought his last fight in Japan against Sato. He won, but they gave a loss to Yousri, because the one who won this fight is going to be the third fighter for the K1 Max finals. But Yousri was stopped anyway, so it's no problem. And I think it's going to have the same thing with Nieky. Nieky just needs to hold on and believe in himself as much as he can, because like last Saturday, I don't think he lost that fight. He won the first round, lost the second round, and the third round he made more points. So how can he lose, But sometimes that's a jury sport. That's sometimes a little bit questionable. But I don't think Nieky should retire. I hope not, because for me he's still a good fighter. He's still, how do you say,
and a really good ambassador for the sport. Everyone looks up to him, especially younger fighters.
Of course.
Fighters.
Of course. And when he comes to the ring, people want to see it. So it doesn't matter, He should go on a holiday and start training again.
Obviously, heavyweight division got a big wake-up call with the announcement that Badr Hari's signed a multiple fight contract with Glory. There was all sort of rumours going along last time I was here in Holland that there was some Belgian promoter and whatever. But it's good to see that Glory got their man, the biggest name there is, the biggest draw in kickboxing, and Glory's the biggest stage, so it's where he belongs. We all saw Rico and Jamal. Everybody wants to see the rematch. What current state is Badr in, and how do you see the new year unfolding for him?
No, he's training. He's in Morocco. He trains 6 days a week. So there's nothing wrong with this. He's getting in shape. Talked with him yesterday for, 1 hour on the phone about all these things we want to do. So we'll see what takes us where, and I hope we're getting one more time ready and stay on this bed for another 4, 5, 6 years, and then it's finished.
So a good up to a handful of years you believe Badr has left in the tank?
Yes. Yes, there's always. I think there was this thing over his head from going to jail, and now it's finalized, so he doesn't have this anymore.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
Yes, that is. It's this man. No problem.
Is it? I mean, March the 3rd, Ahoy, Rotterdam. Is it likely to be someone like Benjamin Haddaoui that he gets next?
I don't know.
Before Rico?
I don't know. No Glory will put him up against.
It's still to be confirmed yet, yeah?
Yeah, that's to be confirmed. They'll be a bit vague about it. It's no problem.
Yeah. Obviously, Badr's in Morocco right now.
Yes.
How much time will you get with him over here in Holland before a fight?
I don't know, probably 6-8 weeks.
Yeah, that's enough, isn't it, for him?
Now it's enough.
Yeah.
You know, in the beginning we had something like 4 months. 4 months to be, but now it's enough. Now it's better.
That's good.
He doesn't come from zero or under zero. He's well prepared. He's in shape. You know, we just need to go over the lines a bit.
Going over the lines, when someone like Badr has achieved everything that he has, motivation is an issue. But if you compare his motivation now to years gone by, what kind of level is it on for Badr?
He's still motivated, otherwise you don't train 6 times a week. Well, motivation now is a little bit different than a couple of years ago, of course, because then you wanted to become the best. You know, you wanted to be recognized. You want to be there. You know, you want people to scream your name. You know, and now they do. So the only thing you can be motivated by is stay the best and show everybody every fight that you are still the champion. Even though you don't have the belt. But belt means nothing.
Yeah, he said that quite well himself at the collision press conference. A shame it was in Dutch, but when it finally got translated, it was some very strong words he had, and you need that. You need someone to come along and really ruffle up the feathers, so to speak. Jamal Ben Saddik tried to ruffle things up with Rico Verhoeven over the weekend. Got stopped in the 5th and final round. From what you saw of that collision in its own way, what did you think of it? I mean, what's your analysis of Saddik and how he put the pressure on Verhoeven? The fight was good for the public. It just has been very amusing. In what sense amusing?
Amusing about, you know, Rico falling down, getting punched. Rico needed to get an 8 count, didn't got it. Jamal got frustrated, you know, he didn't know it anymore. Then start doing all kinds of things to avoid fighting. Then he get the head kick, and then from there it's over. Then you see Rico chasing, which he never does, but was good. Was good to see that he can. You know, so Rico got a lot of more credits in the eyes of the audience. Jamal got the credits because he started out well, you know, but that's it. It's, if you look at the fight differently, with technical and tactical, you see a different kind of fight.
Yeah, you made some very good points there. I mean, to put it lightly, in so many ways, you're saying that he's Glory's prized asset, so he's going to get a lot more preferential treatment in the ring. And
no.
But I mean, when he got knocked down, he
should have got an 8 count. You know, that's
I was
that's the fault of Paul Nichols, of course.
But Paul's a good referee, very good referee. He's very good with applying the rules, I say, compared to a lot of other referees, like in America, they don't get the rules right. They're too much clinching with Mexican and South, for example.
I don't say Paul is a wrong referee. I said he was wrong on this decision. Things happen, split second. Maybe he didn't saw it right. Maybe he wasn't correct. I don't know. So these things happen. And if he got the 8 count, then it can be a different kind of fight, because then it's 3-0 for Ben Saddik. And now at that moment they made it. It's supposed to be 2-0 for Saddik, but they turn it in 1-1. So that's the difference. And once you fight this fight, then you get, let's say, he won the 3rd round, then it's 4-0, and then Rico needs to come. So but this is about the rules in general. These things happen, and once more, I don't say Paul is a bad referee. He just made a not good decision, in my opinion, because the rules are, if anything else besides the soles of your feet touch the floor by a punch or a kick or a knee from somebody else, that means an 8 count. So when your gloves touch the floor or your ass touch the floor, you're going to, after the punch, you're going to be counted.
But there's obviously an allowance for referee discretion, isn't there? What they deem as a legitimate, in inverted commas, knockdown compared to someone losing balance. But then balance does count. Maybe not as strongly as Muay Thai, but it does. It is an influencing factor.
There was nothing in balance. He just got a punch in his face and he fell down. He wanted to kick. He got punched. But listen, for me, it's no problem. I have nothing to do with all of these fights. The only thing, you asked me my opinion. That's my opinion. Yeah. And that doesn't mean that Rico, if he got the 8 count, that he could not win. No, maybe he won also. Maybe he won in the 4th round or something. That's what I was saying. So that's it. And if Ben Saddik, stepped a little bit more in with his right foot, then he wouldn't stand up anymore, Rico. So that's what I was saying about the technical part of the fight, If he didn't run around after him, but cut him off, then it would be a different fight, So that's tactical.
Is that something with collision you were looking to apply with Badr before the arm injury, to cut the space off?
Well, we don't need to cut the space off, because when we were fighting a collision with Rico, we were looking like a matador. It's just a bull raging on you, and every time he come, we stopped him. We stopped him, bam, with jabs, we were away. How many times did he touch Badr? Really in the fight. So that's the difference. I know this time going to be different. This time we're going to see, I don't know, a new and improved. 1 second, please.
Yeah. You mentioned something there that I've noticed a lot with Rico Verhoeven. Gokensaki, Badr Hari, and the jabs. It seems to be, if Rico comes across someone with a quick straight jab, it always gets through.
I don't know.
Come on, you've noticed it as well.
I don't know. we only hit him, I think, 15 or 16 times in the 1st round.
It was just bad luck, wasn't it?
With the jab, yeah, I don't know, man. It's part of life. But, like I said, he won. They gave him the win. We forgot to win. We were winning. We just didn't get the win. And he did. So that's it.
Yeah.
If Max Verstappen is in the Formula 1, his car stops. These things happen. And that's also what happened with Badr. You know, you cannot do, you know, his arm couldn't do. Then what can you do? You can fight with one arm, and then the other guys that said, yeah, I'll step in the ring with one arm, and I fight, and I do. No. And then you're gonna be knocked out. Oh, that's a clever decision. What do you think? What do you think you can win with one arm? 1 second, please.
2017, as a year in the grand scheme of kickboxing, for you as a coach, manager, gym owner, friend, mentor, and a kickboxing fan, what have been the highlights? What stood out the most this year for you?
Well, one of the highlights was that Murthel finally get what he deserves all these years. You know, today we made a joke. I said, well, if you fight Nieky and you move a lot, you know, you cannot lose. But Murthel knew that in 2010 already. You know, and then he got robbed. But this year he got a belt. This year is the breakthrough of Christian Baya. Stoyan broke through. The comeback of Badr. You know, he's finally finished his sentence. This year is a year I did my family a little bit wrong by not going on holiday, but working too much. But they're used to it, so it's okay. This year's should visit more friends, but I was working. This year was a very spectacular year. If you see, we won the title, the Mulan title, with Anissa.
Anissa Haddaoui, yeah.
Yes, we won the title with Melanie in Crush. We won, I don't know, titles in WLF, not Fighting League, sorry, WFL. Oh, gee. We won a lot of titles this year, of course.
Fabio, isn't it? Fabio had a good time at WFL as well.
I don't know if it was this year or last year, but this year, when Fabio won, we won 3 titles at the same day. And we won with Brian, we won also the title in 95 kilos. Well, I don't know, I have a lot to be thankful for, I guess. You know, it's hard work, it's getting paid off.
But also the fighters, past and present, future, and the sport as a whole, you know, it's fair to say you're a bit of an unsung hero. You make the personal sacrifices and people don't see that, people aren't as aware of it.
No. But you know, you can blame them.
Yeah, it's the opportunity cost, isn't it? But going into 2018, you know, as an industry, as a sport, kickboxing's on the rise. However, some people like to make comparisons to 2 decades ago, the golden era. Nothing stays the same in life. Things are always changing, people change, the environment changes. What would your message be to the kickboxing fans out there for going into 2018?
Well, if you go back to the K1, the times of the K1, and they talk about the golden era, well, it was, but for some fighters, not for all fighters. Most fighters don't. You know, if you look back there in the day and you look now today there are more stages where they can fight, there are more opportunities where they can break through. There are some good, you got Glory, got W5, VFL, World Series of Heroes, VLF in China, Kunlun, but you got more.
There's plenty more.
You know, there are so many stages where you can fight. You know, ACB is coming, Bellator is coming with kickboxing. So, you can put your feet anywhere in the ground you want. You got infusion, you know.
Well, kickboxing Grand Prix now with Karen Kettle starting up is
yes.
They got the ball rolling. So it's every part of the world, even in Brazil, they got what's it called?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But you know, step by step, it's coming. You know, it's the fastest growing sport in the world. You know, it's kickboxing and MMA. So they got enough stages. You just need to find a stage that's good for you. Because back in the day, you got K1, a few fighters, and you got in the Lumpini Stadium. In the Lumpini Stadium and in Thailand, you got a few fighters. But nothing really happened. Because if you're not K1 material, you are not a heavyweight, then at the end they got the K1 max. But when you're 85 kilos or 72, you're out of luck. Right now, you got different stages for different fighters, so you need to find your own stage, I guess. And 2018 is going to be, I think, even a better time for the kickboxers.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Because they're going to be bigger shows. Glory will go from, I think, 12 shows to 18 shows a year. They're going to fight also in Sao Paulo and in China multiple times. And Holland, of course, France, you know, everywhere where kickboxing is. And also other shows. And they need fighters. They need good fighters. So that's why we are here, you know, to make some good fighters. And how do you say, serve all of these competitions with good fighters. And that's what most people see. They only see me walking back and forth to the ring. You know, they don't never see the hard work we put in there. 6 o'clock in the morning every day I'm here.
Yeah, I know. I know. But that's a story to be told coming soon, isn't there? There's going to be a documentary on you.
Yeah, well, let's first see if we can make it through lunch.
Thank you, time, Mike.
Yeah, never thought that I could make it this far. Got a long way to go, but I'm this far. Who'd have thought that I could hit rock bottom? Coming back and make it blow up like Haddaoui!